Hi, this is Joe McNally with Adorama TV, and today we're going to talk about making your lights look like they're supposed to be there, both in terms of direction and color.
Adorama TV presents Photo on the Go with Joe McNally, where you'll go behind the scenes to see how great photos are made.
Hi, this is Joe McNally for Adorama TV. A reason I go to Adorama? It's a real store with real people, and I've got friends and associates there who have guided me through all my camera purchases for years. So I got up early, okay, good rule of location photography, pre-dawn in Moab, which is one of the most picturesque places you could possibly be. Lots of canyons and cliffs and red rock and all that sort of stuff. And I also was accompanied at sunrise by a world-class, all-terrain biker, and I wanted to do kind of an action shot at the edge of this canyon, okay, where I knew sunlight would come around in a beautiful way. But I couldn't put him in direct sunlight. I didn't want to wait for direct sunlight. I wanted to get that really rich pre-dawn kind of slivers of light that migrate through the canyon. So I placed him in the shadow of a giant rock. Again, there's a theme here that you might have picked up over certain of these Adorama TV episodes that I've talked about, replacing the light, that you take away from your subject by placing them in shade. So I've got this giant rock which gives me control over the near environment, which is a good thing. Now I know I need a lot of power on this shot, so I actually gaggled 3 speedlights together and I put them on a stick so that they are just raw light, one after another, and they basically behave as one light source. Next step is to color the light. I need to make my flash, which is neutral daylight light, match the early morning color of the light that's coming through the canyon, which is very warm. So over all 3 lights, I put a full cut or full conversion gel, a CTO, color temperature orange, and I put them on my lights. So all 3 lights now are the color of rising morning light. So I'm triggering these lights TTL, line of sight, and I have 3 of them. So obviously, open question. Hey man, couldn't you do this with one big light source? Of course I could. Okay. Couldn't you do it with a radio trigger? Of course I could. Very valid ways of going about it. I use those methods all the time. It just so happened at the edge of the canyon on this day, I didn't have a big light. All I had with me, I think I had like 5 speed lights, which is kind of a standard pack. We throw them in our bag. And so I put 3 of them together to try to get close to the power of a main light because again, I'm dealing with a lot of space and the canyon light is coming up and I know it's going to be pretty strong, so I'm anticipating needing all the juice I got. So all my lights are at full power, manual 1/1, but still triggered wirelessly via my master or commander flash that's hot shoot to the camera. So let's take a look at kind of the scene. So the canyon is out here. Okay, the sunlight is coming from over here, this direction, right? My big rock that I mentioned, okay, is right here, casting a shadow this way, and my guy, my biker, is right here, okay? That's a bicycle. The edge of the rocks that he's on is right kind of here. And so I've got my camera down here low so I can see upwards towards him, see the canyon, but also see the sky, that's all out in here. And what does the low angle do for me as well? It makes him look like he's flying. Basically, if I went up above him, I minimize his athletic activity. When I get below him, I look up, he jumps the bike sort of almost over my lens. I'm using a very wide lens. And he goes flying in the air and it really looks like he's just, out there in space, which is kind of cool. So my camera's right about here, kind of close to the ground. Okay, it's a 14-24 millimeter lens. And the look I get with that is really just embraces the whole canyon. So now my lights are predictably in the direction of the main light. I don't want to interrupt the experience for the viewer, so I want my flash to be the color of the light, as I already indicated, and also be the direction of the light. So the stick that I have here, it's a C-stand, I've got 3 lights on it right in here, and they're firing this way, towards my biker. I got lucky with the rising morning light. It just graced the canyon back here in, these beautiful slivers of warm, warm light. My biker was fantastic. He would jump the bike and he would get like 2-3 feet in the air. My low camera angle accentuated that. The color of my flash is the color of the rising light. I translate a signal from a hot shoot commander flash right to them right here. There's no problems doing that. They react fine, okay? They're on a manual setting, manual 1/1, and my overall exposure is 250th of a second at f8, okay? And the nice thing about it is, let me just double check this, ISO 200. Okay, so I have a very, very highly detailed file, very rich color, and it's because I'm emphasizing my foreground with light, which then that darkish foreground, remember I have them in shade, all right, I brighten it with my flash, which brings it to the same exposure register as everything that's going on in the background in the canyon. And the result is I've got a saturated sky, I've got good detail in the warm light from the sun, and then I've got light that looks like it could be from the sun up front for my biker. So the key to the job is the simplest of items. CTO, color temperature orange, convert to orange, full cut of conversion gel that brings a daylight flash into a warm or incandescent balance. You can get these with a Strobist collection starter kit, okay? Really handy kind of minimalist set of gels that, get you through all manner of situations from, say, fluorescence and that type of correction to incandescent, as we're seeing here. Good thing to have in your bag. You can sort them out. What we do is we travel with these think tank wallets, okay? We label them. This is our color correction, okay, envelope or wallet of different gels. We have fluorescence, we have warm gels in here, okay? This is for kind of clinical correction of light. And then we also travel with another one, which we call our theatrical gels, and that's when we want to go Dr. Frankenstein in the lab kind of stuff. Reds, blues, deep greens, all sorts of crazy colors. Those are in another wallet that looks just like this, and we label that our theatrical colors, and they go with us all the time when we're using small flash. So, simple stuff, really. Make the color work for you. Joe McNally for Adorama TV, and today we deconstructed putting light into a situation and making it the color of what already exists.
For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. Place your order by 8 p.m. and it ships the same day. Plus, next time you're in New York City, be sure to visit our store located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.